Now we have Mr. Jeff Nelson of Movement Mortgage coming in to talk about their down payment assistance and what they have to offer.
All right. Good evening, everyone. As Nisha mentioned, my name is Jeff Nelson. I'm a senior loan officer here with Movement Mortgage. So before I go into my program, there was a key thing that I think is really important that sometimes it pops up. Someone mentioned had a question earlier. Can you use these funds for your deposit when you're putting an offer? You want to be mindful. A lot of these down payment, if not all of them, will be given to you as you get approved for the loan during the process, right? So when you're talking strategies with your realtor on what your initial deposit will be for the offer you're placing, you should have those funds available to you or look for gift funds in that scenario, all right? But particular for my program, Denisha, did I share my screen? Did you send that over?
You can share your screen.
All right, perfect. Take control of that. Stop for us. Sure. So we have a unique program called Movement Boost here at Movement Mortgage. So a lot of the programs that you went through has income limit restrictions. They have asset limit restrictions. They have DTI, debt to income ratio restrictions. We tend to kind of remove a lot of those. They also have higher credit score restriction. FICO score requirements. With our Movement Boost program, what we're providing families are the 3.5% down needed for your down payment, which is usually the minimum down payment on FHA products. Sometimes you have to put 5% down, as some people talked about earlier. But we will cover the 3.5% down for you for your minimal down payment. And then you have closing costs. We didn't really touch it too much, some of my lender partners here, but with every transaction, you're going to have closing costs associated with the loan. On average, they can be anywhere between 2 to 4, maybe even 5%, depending on the property taxes, the home insurance, and the property itself that you're buying. So we will also assist you with covering some of your closing costs. My team over the last 2 years, I think we're pushing just over $2 million in down payment assistance and funds through all channels. I've worked with Maha, I work with Mass Housing, I've worked with a lot of different grant programs. I have a software that tells me all type of programs for each town. So my team is constantly looking ways to layer these programs for our partners. And then sometimes, I work with different lenders when, hey, this client just makes too much income for this product, but they need down payment assistance. That's when we come in line. Like I said, I don't have any income limits for my product for here. And then sometimes their credit score doesn't meet the requirements. As we just had a presentation, you need a minimum of 640 for certain programs. We're willing to go as low as 600 of a credit score to assist people. Now, the one difference for my product here, it's only for single families, condos, and 2 families. 3 families and 4 families would be excluded from this, but you can utilize it for those other homes as well too. And you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. Right? So if you purchase one of your homes with a conventional product with Mass Housing or with I'm not sure which one is the One Plus, one of them, you can move out, you can't move out, but I'm not too familiar at the top of my head. And you want to buy your second home, you can utilize this program to get your second home. If you bought a multi, you want to come down to a single family, but you don't have a lot of funds, we can assist you with this. This being a primary resident home loan, which is FHAs, what the criteria are, this can be assistance to you. You can use your gift funds as well too for this product. And it's a second mortgage, right? Most of these down payment assistance programs are going to be second mortgages unless they're a true grant. So it'll take a secondary position from your first mortgage. And it's going to be 2% higher than whatever I quote you for your current mortgage. Right now, for traditional FHA rate, we're looking at a 6.4. So your interest rate would be a little bit higher for that for the down payment assistance program. It's over a 10-year period to pay that back. And there's no prepay penalties for that.
Lost my mic. Thank you so much, Jeff. Guys, do you have, oh, there are some questions in here.
Right.
They're asking about manufactured homes and mobile homes.
Manufactured homes, yes. Mobile homes, no. So the manufactured homes can definitely be one of the options that we can look at. That would require a little bit higher credit score of 640 in that particular. That's a great question.
Perfect. And they say, can they use the movement funds for a condo? Yes.
Yes, you can. I think
Um,
one individual client was able to combine our movement fund. They had a Maha grant. The realtor was able to negotiate seller credit. They got about $95,000 with all three combined.
Perfect. So guys, you see, you can stack them, which is perfect. So you cannot stack his program with the one mortgage or mass housing, for example, but you can combine it with stash, or if a city or town has their own down payment assistance, you can stack it there. Any other questions? Okay. So we're going to look at different towns and what they have to offer in a second, but I want you guys, for some of you, it might feel overwhelming because there are a lot of programs and products, right? But I hope that gets you excited because now you know there are options, right? But you also have to think strategically, and this is where having the right team is very important. So when you're interviewing agents, do they know how to combine all these programs and products? That's why it's important for them to know, because if they don't know and you didn't hear about this, or you have a family member who didn't hear tonight's presentation, you might be leaving money on the table because you didn't know you could stack something else that was easily accessible to you. Right. So that's why it's important that your team is also knowledgeable about what options are out there so you can combine. So looking at if you want to buy a multifamily, right? Which programs provide the most down payment assistance to make that more affordable for you? If you know your credit score isn't where some of the minimums are, who does have it where the credit score can work because everything else checks the box, right? So that you can buy. So this is where you have to start paying attention to the nuances of the different programs so we can strategize so that you can come out on top in the end. Okay. So that's a combination of your agent being knowledgeable, your lender being knowledgeable, scheduling a counseling session wherever you take your first time home buyers class, them being knowledgeable, and helping you put all of this together. Okay. Jeff, I don't know if you have any other programs you want to talk about right now, and I'll pull up the slides in the meantime.
Yeah, so I know there's a few towns that was mentioned to you. So City of Salem is one of them has down payment assistance programs. Fall River, New Bedford, Taunton. Each one of these towns have their individual programs that I've had clients use our Boost program as well as those programs to help them qualify. I have direct contacts for each one of those towns if you had any questions and how to get those started. Like I said, I have a software that tells me each town. Denisha has a similar one too, as we just try to get as creative as possible for different clients.
Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And hold on, let me see. Can you stop sharing,
Yeah.
please? Okay, I think. Okay. So I just put up some of the, do you guys see my screen? Yes. Okay. Some of the towns that have down payment assistance right now, there are a lot more. I'll show you the website and you will get that link in the follow-up email to find the programs. But Brockton has money, Malden has funds, New Bedford, Fall River, Everett. There are a lot of towns that do have, and even in Western Mass, Springfield, which I didn't know, I learned that last week. I thought they were just part of the One Plus. They have additional down payment assistance if you are trying to buy in Springfield. So you can combine the One Plus and the money from Springfield to help you purchase. So definitely do not sell yourself short. Um, it may take some research. I am currently reaching out to all of these programs. So the website is mhp.net. And then you'll scroll down to where it says get down payment help, and they list the programs across the state in terms of the cities and towns and see who has what. Okay, so when you click on the region, Now it's going to give you the links and the contact information for all of the different towns and what they have. I'm putting together a list because I'm actually contacting all of these to see who still has funding. So it's the most accurate list. So hopefully I'll have that completed in the next week or two, because some people just haven't responded, but we're kind of in that last vacation season before school starts. So I expect to hear back from people within the next 2 or 3 weeks. I will get you guys the updated list based off of this, what I have, and anywhere else that I can find down payment assistance.
Denisha, some of the places that I also have on my list is the city of Lawrence, city of Lynn, Newburyport, North
Hmm.
Andover, the Great Barrington area, Holyoke, to name a few places. Madison Park has a phenomenal program that I have a client currently in the process of getting pre-approved that can get upwards of 100,000. And there's some South Shore, Haverville. It's a laundry list of different opportunities here for homeowners.
There are, yes, a lot of towns have down payment assistance, guys. So I just want to finalize because a lot of people didn't get back to me for me to confirm if they had funding. Their websites were either the links were broken, or when I look at it, I would see it was updated in 2022. I'm like, well, that's a long time. I don't know if this is still active or not. So I am following up with them to get the most accurate information for you guys. But in the meantime, you'll get the link so that you can reach out and see if your town is on that list or a town that you're thinking of buying in. A lot of the programs initially, they had it where it was limited to just their residents being able to utilize their down payment assistance. Most, if not all, have since made modifications where you just have to purchase the home in that town. You don't have to be a current resident of that town to be able to leverage those funds. Um, so we're going to look. I encourage you to ask where you work, especially if you're in a union, if they have any first-time home buyer programs or assistance out there. Antonina said earlier, Boston Teachers Union, they have where, they cover the cost of your attorney. Ask whatever school district you're in, you guys are paying dues. What is included in that, right? You may get your attorney at no cost because it's covered. They may have down payment assistance. There are some libraries with down payment assistance, right? There are some schools that have down payment assistance. So you have not because you ask not. Ask the questions because they tend not to volunteer it all the time. But there are resources out there. Um, I even have, again, and people are creating them all the time. I had two buyers this summer. I think they close in the end July. And they were blessed because their landlord created his own down payment assistance program for his residents, and they each got $40,000, right? Random. Random, but these are the things that are happening because we're seeing the economy is changing, things are changing, and people want to help. They want to make it possible for you to be able to buy. So again, keep your ears and your eyes open. Google programs. I heard about, I think it's Allstate has a down payment assistance program out right now. That's a national program, so you're competing against people across the country, but it's worth it, right? I know someone who received it. So again, we're putting together the final list just to make sure they still have funding because some of the people on our list have run out or they have changed their program. So we're just updating that for you guys, but we will get that to you and I'll put it in a document that will be updated. So even though you get the current one, when I send it tomorrow, we will keep adding to it over time. So you can always click on that link and go back as a resource. Any
Touch base with
questions?
your
Mhm.
oh sorry. Touch base with your HR resource manager. Sometimes they have programs. Definitely talk about it. And also, for those who are unaware, you can definitely use your 401k to assist you purchasing the house as well too. So leverage everything you can to make your dreams come true, especially while we have these programs.
Denisha, I actually found out about a new grant program last week from Boston Housing Authority. So some Boston Housing Authority members can qualify for an additional $40,000 grant on top of the $75,000 city grant just for being part of Boston Housing Authority. So if you are part of the Housing Authority, check in with your counselor over there, because there's an additional Beth Israel Deaconess grant for additional $40,000 if you're buying in the city.
Guys, ask honestly. And then for those of you, because you brought up Boston Housing Authority, if you have a voucher and you are part of a housing authority, ask your case manager if they have the Section 8 to home ownership program. And that program is where it's almost like the rental voucher, where you are responsible for 30% of your income going towards the cost of housing, and then they cover the balance. The same thing, it transitions to the home ownership voucher, where you are responsible for 30% of your income going towards that mortgage, and they cover the balance of that mortgage for 15 years. You have to income certify every year for it, but that is also an option that's available to you. There's something called the FSS program, the Family Self-Sufficiency Program. If you are able to enroll in that, what they do is every time you earn more at your job, they put that difference, that delta, into, and your rent goes up, they put that difference into an escrow or savings account for you so that you can use that for your down payment assistance when you're ready to purchase. So there are lots of opportunities out there. Unfortunately, some of these organizations may be understaffed, so getting the word out takes a little bit longer. So we're making you aware so you can go ask the specific questions to get the answers that you need. So if you are part of a housing authority, reach out to them and see if they offer the Section 8 to home ownership program and if they have the FSS program. Okay? Not all of them have it, so it is something you have to ask about. Thank you for that feedback. Greatly appreciated. I hope you guys learned a lot tonight. I learned, and I know a lot of these programs, and I still learned about new ones that were developed in the past couple of months I had not heard of before, or edits to them. So you guys will get the replay because I need to watch the replay, because I'm going to, for those of you who know me, I'm going to sit and come up with my little checklist to give to you so that you have it moving forward, so you know who to talk to about what, who offers what, to make it a little bit easier. It's going to take me some time to do that. So you're just going to get the replay for now, and then you'll get that document later on. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. I truly appreciate it. Thank you to our presenters. All of you were on the entire time, which means so much. Hopefully you learned a lot too. And if you guys, for your attendees, have any other topics that you would like us to cover, please let us know so that we, again, for me, it's about bringing the information. Next month, we'll be talking about FHA 203K and other rehab loans. So if you are buying a home that needs work, don't stress out. There's financing so that you can get that home up to the quality that you need it for when you move in. So we are trying to be more topical and cover the things that you guys, we kind of touch upon in the home buyer classes, but not go in depth. Now we want to use these to go in depth to help you guys, okay? Because those classes are like 8-9 hours, brain overload, okay? So that's why we're trying to split it up now for you so that you can stop, pause, watch this, and figure it out, and get the help that you need. So thank you guys for attending. We truly, truly appreciate it. Be a blessing to someone else this week and be safe. It's a long weekend. I'm just going through the chat to see if I miss any last minute questions.
Thank you, Denisha.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.